Russia give you this information, or anybody associated with Russia?
Our source is not a state party. So the answer for our interactions is no.
You did not get this information about the DNC, John Podesta's emails. Can you tell the American people 1,000% you did not get it from Russia or
Yes.
anybody associated with Russia?
We can say, we have said repeatedly over the last 2 months that our source is not the Russian government and it is not a state party.
That was WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange back in January 2017 when we went to the Ecuadorian embassy in Great Britain, denying allegations that Russia gave him hacked Democratic emails. The mainstream media, they will stop at nothing to try and tie President Trump and his associates to all things Russia. Well, now they're turning their attention to longtime Republican strategist, former Trump advisor Roger Stone. One headline from Vice News reads, "Why Roger Stone could be Mueller's next target in the Russia probe." Here to respond is the man himself, former Trump campaign advisor, Republican strategist. He got a full feature for himself on Netflix. Roger Stone, how are you, sir?
Sean, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you being back. Let's start with Sam Nunberg. Apparently a protege of yours. I felt he was exploited by the media. It looked like something was wrong. I don't know him that well. I don't know him really at all. It didn't seem right. He seemed incoherent, contradicting himself. What was your reaction as someone who knows him?
Well, watching that interview is kind of like a cross between Howard Beale and Network saying I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, and an Andy Kaufman comedy routine. Sam Nunberg is a talented guy. He's clearly dealing with his own demons. But let me make clear, he is not speaking at my behest or with my direction. Yet on the heels of Sam's interview, Vice, The Washington Post, MSNBC, and others say that my indictment is imminent because I received hacked DNC material from WikiLeaks or Julian Assange, and I gave it to the Trump campaign and Donald Trump.
The problem with that, Sean,
is I never received anything whatsoever. Let me be clear. I had no advance notice of the content, source, or exact timing of the WikiLeaks disclosures regarding the DNC or Hillary Clinton. I never received any material from WikiLeaks or from the Russian state or anyone else. Therefore, I couldn't have passed it on to anyone in the Trump campaign. And I never discussed the WikiLeaks disclosures whatsoever with candidate Donald Trump or President Donald Trump.
You never
before, during, or after the campaign.
Have you been subpoenaed by Robert Mueller?
I have not, but based on a New York Times story of January 20th, 2017, Inauguration Day, that said that my communications were, along with Paul Manafort and Carter Page, being surveilled under a FISA warrant, I've operated on the assumption that some authorities have been monitoring my communications the entire time. I have no evidence or knowledge or involvement in Russian collusion or any other inappropriate act.
I might be the only person in America that has actually interviewed Julian Assange 5 times. And I did go to the Ecuadorian embassy. Some people like him, some people don't like him. That's irrelevant. We know he's the one that put the emails in play. He put them out. He revealed these emails to the world. The question that I think we've got to ask ourselves is, if Robert Mueller, if his mandate, which is now expanded even into the UAE and well beyond what his original mandate is, but if his mandate is to discover Trump-Russia collusion, where these emails came from, did they come from Russia? Don't you think the first guy you might want to ask or try and get information from would be the guy that the one person on earth that you know knows where that came from? Whether you like Julian or don't like Julian, that would be Julian Assange. I can't say with certainty anybody else on the face of this earth would know 100%, but he would.
Well, when I said on MSNBC tonight that I did not believe that Julian Assange was a Russian agent, and I did not believe that WikiLeaks is a Russian asset, I think he's an honest journalist, and no one has questioned the authenticity or the accuracy of any of the material that WikiLeaks has released.
11 years.
So their whole premise is their whole false premise.
11 years, they've never gotten a thing wrong. That's a far better track record than the three major networks, MSNBC, CNN, The Washington Post, and The New York Times. Not once that I have ever seen did they get it wrong.
That's exactly right. And this entire narrative is based on a false premise from our politicized intelligence agencies that Julian Assange is a Russian agent. No, he isn't. He's a courageous journalist who has an incredible track record for accuracy and authenticity. So when you reject that, they, at MSNBC, one commentator said, now Stone is moving the goalpost. Not at all. I've been saying this for 2 years. I continue to believe it. The same people who tell you, there's no metadata collection program on Americans, or Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, they now insist Julian Assange is a Russian asset. I believe that is entirely false.
Well, we now know that Peter Strzok apparently knew that Hillary's server, in fact, had been infiltrated by the Russians. Is it possible that maybe Julian Assange had sources? Up to 5 foreign intelligence agencies would have had access to her emails. Is it possible he got it from one source and the Russians did have it? Is it possible everybody had it because she went to a mom and pop shop bathroom and broke the law and committed felonies in the process of not handling classified information the way it should have been classified, the way it should have been handled?
But more importantly, Sean, this whole discussion is meant to distract from the content of the disclosures.
Good point.
Which show Hillary Clinton to be greedy, corrupt, up to her nose in campaign dirty tricks, and to distract from the fact that the Obama Justice Department and the Obama FBI utilized what they knew was fabricated evidence to justify legally the surveillance of the Republican candidate for president. This is an abuse of power that makes Watergate look like small potatoes. It is obvious that the question that must be asked, based on the FBI text messages, is, what did Obama know and when did he know it?
Well said. What's your relationship like with the president? A lot of people try to make, I've always said to people that Donald Trump is his own man, and anyone that tells you any different doesn't know Donald Trump. He makes his own mind up. That is
entirely true. There is no Karl Rove in Trump land. He is his own strategist, his own wordsmith, and damn good at it. I am a loyal supporter of the president, and I think he's doing an amazing job, given the deep state enmity and the two-party duopoly opposition to him. 2 million new jobs.
But last question.
A growing economy, extraordinary.
This is personal between you and me. You had said once that I was lobbying to be in the Trump administration. I never lobbied ever, nor would I ever have taken, nor did I ever talk to anybody about it. Do you remember saying that?
I don't recall ever saying that, but if I did, I stand corrected.
All right, no problem. Roger, but I'm not, listen, I'm just waiting until I get my own Netflix, 2-hour special. That would be a big day for me. Congratulations.
We could call it Get Me Sean Hannity.
All right, good to see you. Thank you.